Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening, teacher Deann.
Yes, okay. So, by the way, I am teacher Dean of Actions Language Online. How are you, Jasmine?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I am doing good today. Thank you. So, since this is our first class together, let me introduce myself again. I am
Okay.
teacher Dean of Actions Language Online. I am an English teacher by profession, and I love music. How about you? Can you introduce yourself?
Um, I, I'm 24 years old, and I'm working. I'm working in a fabric um fabric manufacturer um man, manufacturers industry, and I like reading novels and comics.
I see. You also like reading, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. What are the novels that you like to read?
Mm, I like to read detective novels.
Oh, detective novels. Is that in English or
Um,
in Chinese?
in Chinese.
In Chinese. It's okay because that's more easier to understand, right?
Yes.
Yes, but I suggest sometimes that you can read books or novels that are in English so that you'll be practiced with your English speaking skills and reading skills also.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So it's nice to meet you, Jasmine, and I hope that you will have a great night tonight with our lesson. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, this time, let us start. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready for a class.
Ready. Okay, so let me just ask you for clarifications. In what page are you now in the lesson?
I'm in the page 15.
Oh, page 15.
Yes.
Because I was quite confused because there are answers here. There are already answers here in the books, so I was not really able to make it sure if this is your answers or not. So you already have answered this one
Um.
or
Oh.
not?
Um. I have done for the practice a audio 1.2.
Oh, okay. So we are now on the audio 1.3, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let us start your lesson with the audio 1.3. So the audio 1.3, can you see that one?
Yes.
Yes. So it is about Sandra Greaves. Okay. So she's being asked of a question, and what is the secret of a really successful brand? So,
Yes.
can you listen to the audio? I will give you time to listen to that. And once you're done, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you can start now.
And that way they can inspire fierce.
Recording 1.3.
And what's the secret of a really successful brand?
Really successful brands are ones that tap into an emotion, and that way they can inspire fierce loyalty. So they're much more than just a product or a service. They're an attitude, and that's carried through in everything about the brand, from the communications to the culture of the organisation to everything you see about the brand. So Apple is a good example. It stands for a kind of anti-authoritarianism. It's against big corporations, which is a big corporation itself. And Apple started out when computers were big and scary and quite off-putting. Apple invented the Mac and you turned it on, you got a smiley face, it was really easy to use. And that's something that Apple has carried through right through to today, where people are in love with the iPod and the iMac and the iBook.
Okay. So, are you done listening to that, Jasmine?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the last time homework.
Oh, that was your homework by your last teacher chat, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. So this time, before I put... Okay, so I'll just put here the audio, or the script of the audio. Okay, oh, it changed everything, so I will just put it below.
Okay.
Okay, so where will I put that one? Oh, I think I'll put it in the letter C, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So as you can see, there is the answers for the script. Oh, why is it divided? Anyway, I'll just put it this way. Okay. So this time there are, or let us listen after you have listened to what Sandra was saying. Okay, so the instruction here is listen to the part of the interview and take the points below which Sandra makes. Okay, so let us read the points here, or the parts of the answers of Sandra, and let us look at each of those points that she has. Okay, so let us read with number 1.
People are very loyal to successful brands.
Okay, so people are very loyal to successful brands, which means that people
are very loyal to brands which can move them or let them feel the same way.
Okay, so people are very loyal to the brands which can move them or let them feel the same way, in which they can relate to the certain product, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so how about number 2? Can you read number 2?
Okay. Number 2. Even successful brands are seen as just a product or a service.
Okay, so which means that
successful brands not only offer a good product but also work hard on attitude, communication, and cultural organization and so on. They need to offer all directional service.
Okay, so they need to offer all directional services. Okay, so this word is services.
Services.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So I'll just highlight this one. I think you already know the word or how to pronounce the word service. The difference is that it has letter S, so you will say services. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So even successful brands are seen as sorry, just a product or a service. Thank you. So successful brands not only offer a good product but also work hard on attitude, communication, and cultural organization, and so on. And they need to offer all directional services. Yes, so they are not just focused on the product. Okay, but it is also focused on the attitude of the company or the employees, okay, their communication, and their overall contribution in the society. So how about number 3?
Number 3, Apple was popular because it wasn't a big corporation.
Apple was popular because it wasn't a big corporation. So suggested here was
Apple was popular because it's against to be a corporation.
Or what do you mean by it's against to be a corporation?
Since this part, I can't understand this part, so I'm not sure my answer is correct or not.
Oh, okay. So you have the blue ones are answered by you, right? Not
Yes.
me. Okay. So Apple was popular because it wasn't a big corporation. So I think they are popular because, as what Sandra Greaves said, okay, it stands for a kind of anti-authoritarianism. It's against big corporations, though it is a big corporation itself, and it started out when computers were big and scary and quite off-putting. So that is because it isn't against big corporations, or it stands for a kind of authoritarianism.
Mm,
Okay. Although, yes, your answers here, I will just mark them down. Okay, so what do you know about authoritarian or anti-authoritarianism?
no, I don't understand about this word.
Okay, so when we say authoritarianism, okay, so let me put the meaning of that. Okay, so that means they demand total obedience. So once a government or a certain company is authoritarian, okay, or they practice authoritarianism, that means they demand total obedience to those positions of authority. For example, if you are the boss, then I will be the employee, then I should not be against you. Or whatever you say to me or whatever you command me, I should do it. Okay, so that is authoritarianism.
Okay.
Okay, so I will just put it here. Authoritarianism is total obedience to those who are in the position. Okay. Okay, so when we say Apple is a kind of authoritarianism, that means the employees there are not in a total obedience to the position or the people in the position. Okay, so I think more of the employees there can freely give their opinions, can freely suggest what their ideas are, and that contributes to the success of their company. Okay?
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes, thank you for answering that one. Now let us have number 4. Do you have any questions with number 3?
No, I totally understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now let us have number 4. Can you read the point in your answer?
Okay. Number 4. Apple customers feel that the Mac was an easy product to use.
Okay, so
My answer is one of the reasons why Apple can carry through until now, since customers feel that the products of Apple are easy to use, and that means I agreed with with point 4.
okay, so Apple customers felt that the Mac was an easy product to use. Yes, because of its convenience, or the convenience that it can give to the customers, and of course maybe the UI or the system that the Apple products are having might be user friendly. So a lot of people are being used to it or used to using it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So how about you? Do you also own an Apple product like an iPhone, MacBook?
Sorry, can you speak one more time?
Okay. So how about you? Do you also use a product of the Apple or Mac, like iPhone or MacBook?
Mm, sorry, about me?
Yeah,
Or
you.
okay. I until now I haven't used the products of iPhone because it is too expensive.
Oh, it's too expensive.
Yes. But um, let's see. I consider to change my phone, and maybe I will buy iPhone.
Okay, so you consider to buy iPhone. Yes, here also there are also a lot of Filipinos who use iPhone, but there are only a few, I guess. Okay, in a certain
Oh,
place, because yes, an iPhone costs a lot of money. It's very
yes,
expensive, and I think there are a lot of um, alternatives for that phone, right?
yeah, right.
Yes. Okay. So me, I personally do not own an iPhone because I think iPhones are, or the value of the iPhones change over time. So if you own an iPhone 5S today, then about a few months already they will be releasing another one, iPhone 6 and the iPhone 7, until you are out of their latest product. Okay, that means you are not in the trend. So I guess
Yeah,
having an iPhone that expensive is not that um, needed, because a lot
mhm,
of alternatives. But of course, if a person has a lot of money to buy it, then he or she can, right?
yes,
Yes, okay. Not us, because I think we are being wise in like our expenses and how we manage our salary or money, right?
right.
Right. Okay. So thank you for answering these points that we have here, on giving your thoughts on your points here. So this time, do you have any questions with the audio 1.3?
Oh no, there's no question about 1.3.
Okay, there's no question about 1.3. Now I guess we have here listened to the samples Sandra give of how Wolf Allens helped a company which is branding, and answer these questions.
Listen again 1.3.
I
Okay.
think that is not in the 1.3. Okay, because I'm also having a hard time looking for that. But I think it's also in the 1.3, since the next one will be 1.4, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I just pasted here the script that you have listened a while ago. So let us read and see how Wolf Allens helped a company which is branding, and answer these questions. Okay. Okay. So I think there are no questions, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that is why I'm having a hard time in this part. I guess we can just skip it since we have no audio parts in this one. Let us just skip it to audio 1.4. Okay? Will that be okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that we can really follow your answers since we cannot see the questions in this part. So this time I will let you listen to audio 1.4. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so can you start?
Recording 1.4.
Can you give an example of how you've helped the company with its branding?
Yes, the classic example we have is Orange, the mobile phone service. And Orange really changed the way people felt about mobile phones. When everyone else was talking about technology, Orange talked about lifestyle and communication. It was originally going to be called Microtel, and we worked with the parent company to get them away from all of that and create something entirely different, something that was about optimism. The future's bright, the future's orange is a line that everyone remembers. And it created a new world of communication. People became quite passionate about using Orange, and it was highly successful financially.
Okay, so are you done with that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I believe that you also have your answers for the questions that we have here in audio 1.4. Okay, so the first one, what was the company? So your answer is?
The company which was mentioned in the conversation was Orange.
Okay, so the company which was mentioned in the conversation was Orange. That is correct. How about number 2? What is its business sector?
Orange is a telecommunication service provider and over mobile phone service.
Okay, so that is, or the product of Orange is, it is a telecommunication service provider and offer mobile phone service. That's correct. How about number 3? What advice did they receive?
Orange was advised to be different from others, like being optimism and care about lifestyle and communication.
Okay, so like being optimistic, so
Oh, okay.
you can change that one into the word optimistic. Okay, like being optimistic. Okay, so
Okay.
optimism is a noun, okay, which has the meaning of positivity, while being optimistic is an adjective that describes, for example, in this sentence, orange. Orange should be optimistic. Okay, so we should use the word optimistic in this
Mystic.
sentence. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And care. And care about lifestyle and communication. Okay, that's great. Thank you for your answer with that one. I will just.
Thank you.
Okay, so I can see that your answers are very good. You really have or given your time to study what is being told or what is being described in each of the script, and that is very good. So thank you for that. Now this time, let us. This one is the script. If you want to read that one, so that it would be more clear for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have answers about script or audio 1.4?
I mm, I don't understand a part of 1.4. Um, it mentions that Orange care about lifestyle and communication, and I heard the word microtel, but I don't know what it means.
Oh, you want to know about the meaning of microtel?
Yes,
You can say it. Okay, so you don't know what the word means, right? Okay,
yes,
so I will just put the word microtel below. Okay, so when we say microtel,
microtel.
okay, so it is supposed to be the name of, it is supposed to be the name of orange. Okay, but
Oh,
if they want to have a more unique concept, so they name their company Orange instead of Microtel.
oh, okay.
Okay, so to further give you an information about that, because in different meanings, Microtel has a different meaning and it's not related with telecommunications. It's more of hotels. Okay, so
Okay.
microtels are smaller hotels. Okay, so it is not, if they're going to name their company Microtel, then I think that would not fit. Okay, the company's purpose, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So I will just put the meaning of microtel here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I will just type it down. It is inn or suites. Okay. Or a franchise of hotels or other hotels. Okay, so that is generally what a microtel means. So as you can see, it is not related with telecommunications, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I think orange would be quite appropriate for that. Okay,
Mm.
so this time, do you have any questions with that part?
Oh, I don't have any question about 1.4.
Okay, so let us proceed to reading part. So I can see that you also have answered a question here. So why do some companies make luxury products abroad rather than at home? So can you read your answer for me?
Okay, my answer is some companies prefer to make luxury products abroad rather than at home, since they can reduce the cost on paying salary and tax. Sometimes they can even receive the allowance from local governments for foreign business.
Okay, so some companies prefer to make luxury products abroad rather than at home since they can reduce the cost on paying salary and tax. Sometimes they can even receive the allowances from the local government for foreign business. Okay, so thank you for researching about that. That's very good. So this time, let us have the letter B. So you also have researched about this one. So read the article and answer this question. So let us read first the article here. Okay. And let us discuss your answers afterwards. Will that be okay? Okay, so let us read Made in Europe. Okay, so can you read that one, Jasmine?
Okay. Made in Europe. By Joe Johansson, Fred Kapner, and Richard Mike Mike
Okay, that is McGregor.
McGregor. Almost every fashion label outside the top super luxury brands is either already manufacturing in Asia or thinking of it. Coach, the US leather goods maker, is a classic example. Over the past 5 years, it has lifted all its gross ma- margin by manufacturing solely in low-cost markets. In March 2002, it closed its factory in Laos, Puerto Rico. It had its last company owns plants and outsources all its products.
Okay, that's good. Now can you proceed?
Continue to read the second part.
Yes. If you have any questions with the paragraph, then you can ask after reading. Okay.
Okay.
So let us continue.
Burberry has many Asian licensing arrangements. In 2000, it decided to renew Sanyo's Japanese license for 10 years. This means that almost half of Burberry's sales at retail value will continue to be produced under license in Asia. At the same time, however, Japanese consumers prefer the group's European-made products.
Okay. So next.
Sanyo is now reacting to this demand for a snap alternative to Burberry products made in its factories across Asia by opening a flagship store in Tokyo's Ginza, where it sells Burberry products imported from Europe.
Okay.
Uh,
Mhm.
I have a question about these two paragraphs. Um, I don't understand. Um, is these two paragraphs mean Burberry Sanyo is a manufacturer is a factory and manufactures the products of Burberry.
I think Burberry has a different product from Sanyo. Burberry is a company that sells bags. I think fashion,
Yes,
like clothing, shoes maybe, but it's more on the
yes,
clothing line. But Sanyo is more on, I think,
electric
yes,
equipment.
electric equipment. Okay, but I think in 2000 it decided to renew Sanyo's Japanese license for 10 years. I think that Sanyo here, or the information in Sanyo here, does not fit in the part of the Burberry.
Mm,
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think the electrical devices or the appliances being used in making the bags for Burberry or the products of Burberry are from Sanyo.
oh,
That's why they
oh,
are part of the licensing arrangements that Burberry has in Asia.
okay.
Okay. So yes, there are products made in factories across Asia. Like there are factories of Burberry in Asia. Okay, that is also being
Okay.
using Sanyo as their primary source of electrical device.
Okay.
Okay, so is there any questions by that?
Oh, no, I understand less.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now let us proceed to in interviews.
In interviews with the FT, many executives said the top luxury brands will continue to be seen, particularly in Asia, as European. Domenico De Sola of Gucci says the Asian consumer really does believe, whether it's true or not, luxury comes from Europe and must be made there to be the best.
Okay.
Yeah. Sergio Weinberg, chief executive of Printemps Red Dot, which controls Gucci, says it will not move Gucci's production offshore. Yet some in the industry recognize the change may be around the corner even for the super luxury brands. Patrizio Bertelli, chief executive of Prada, says the "Made in Italy" label is important, but we are really offering is a style, and style is an expression of culture. He therefore recognizes that quality fashion items may not always need to be produced in Italy. And Amitabha Chattopadhyay,
Yeah.
prof- professor of marketing at INSEAD, the business school, says a brand is a set of associations in the mind of the consumer, and one of these is the country of origin. For luxury goods, the role of the brand is crucial. To damage it is a cardinal sin, and no brand manager will want to get a balance between manufacturing location and the brand's image wrong.
Okay, very good. So, in the last, I think 3 paragraphs that you have, are there any questions that you want to ask?
I have the question about um the last one paragraph, and I don't know what is the professor means.
Oh, okay,
And
this one.
yeah, yeah, he's
A professor.
uh, I don't know how. Not professor this word, but I don't know this professor what he's talking about.
Oh, you know what a professor means, but you don't know
Yes,
what Amitabha Chattopadhyay is talking about, right?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So he said a brand is a set of associations in the mind of the consumer, and on one of these is the country of origin. For luxury goods, the role of the brand is crucial. The damage it is a cardinal sin, and no brand manager will want to get the balance between manufacturing location and the brand image wrong. So, I think Amitabha Chattopadhyay is talking about the importance of, or is talking about the importance of branding or having a brand,
Mhm.
and also the origin of the brand. Okay, so he is talking about that. So there are associations between the brand itself and where the product came from. For example, the brand is Burberry. So some people will not buy if the Burberry comes from a country that they do not like. But when it says Burberry made in Italy, then it is more like original rather than a product made from another branch or in another country. Okay, so he is just pointing out that it is not only the brand that people itself is only minding of, but it is also the origin of the brand or the product where it is being manufactured. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, is there any questions about that?
Oh, no, and I totally understand about the last paragraph. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And I can see that you're very good when it comes to reading this Made in Europe. Okay, so let us go back to letter B. This part, can you see this one? Okay,
Okay.
so you have already read the article and answered the questions below. So the first question is, which brands are mentioned? Do you know which country each is from? Okay, so can you read each of your answers?
Okay. Coach is from US. Burberry is from England. Sanyo is from Japan. Gucci and Prada.
Gucci and Prada. Hello? Oh, yes, I can hear you now. So Gucci and Prada.
Okay. Gucci and Prada are all from
Very
Italy.
good. That's great. So we have here the brands Coach, Burberry, Sanyo, Gucci, and Prada. Which one or which brand do you think you have?
I have the product of those brands.
Oh, each of those brands.
Sorry, that's a
That's
question.
the question.
and actually, I don't have a product of each of those brands.
Don't you worry, because I also don't have those products.
Yes, it's so expensive.
Yes, they are very expensive, and I don't think that I can afford all of those brands. Maybe if the brand is a fake one, then I can. Because it is not that expensive, unlike from the original. Okay, so don't you worry about that. Now this time let us answer this question. Which companies make all of their products in their own country?
Gucci will still make their products in Italy and will not move its production offshore.
Yes, okay. I think Gucci has really a name when it comes to the fashion industry, and in order for them to maintain that one, they need to like produce their own product their own products in their own country to maintain the authenticity of their bags or their fashion materials. Okay, so that is Gucci. I think I cannot see any Gucci factories in any of the countries around the world, only in Italy. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. You can only see Gucci stores, maybe. Stores, just stores, but not the factory itself.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any questions with our paragraph Made in Europe? Or the article, I mean?
No, I don't have any question about this article.
Okay, that's great. Now this one, let us have the letter C. So, let us answer which of these statements are true and correct the false ones. So these are sentences that come from our Made in Europe article. So what you will do is to answer true or false, and if the sentence is false, let us put the correct word for that, or let us correct that sentence. Okay? Okay,
Okay.
so let's start with number 1. Can you read number 1?
Yes. Number 1. Coach no longer has a factory in uh, Pro, Pro, Pro,
Uh,
Puerto,
yes,
Puerto
you're right.
Rico.
That is Puerto Rico. Okay, so is that true or false?
Mm, yes. Number one. The sentence number 1 is true.
Okay, so sentence number 1 is true. That is correct because by 2002, they already closed their factory in Puerto Rico. How about number 2?
Number 2. Coach, like many other companies, is outsourcing its products to reduce costs. Um, yes, the number 2 sentence is is also correct.
Okay, so Coach is outsourcing its products to reduce costs. Yes, because as much as possible, they over the past 5 years, it has lifted all its gross margins by manufacturing solely in a low-cost market. That is true. Oh, sorry. Now let us have number 3. Can you read number 3?
Okay. Number 3. Some Japanese people choose to buy Burberry products made in Europe rather than in Japan.
Okay.
I think it's true.
Okay, it's true, yes. So it is being said here in the paragraph that Japanese consumers prefer the group's European made products, not the Japanese ones.
Yes.
Okay, how about number 4?
Number 4. Sanyo's store in Tokyo sells Burberry products made only in Asia. Yes, I think it's also true.
Okay, Sanyo's store in Tokyo sells Burberry products made only in Asia. Okay, because it has licensing arrangements. Okay, and so
Yes.
it opens up a flagship store in Tokyo Ginza, but products imported from Europe. So since they are, well, yeah. Oh, no. A flagship store in Tokyo's Ginza still sells products that are from Europe. Okay, so it is not made from Asia, so it is false.
So that means Sanyo's the flagship of Sanyo sells the products which they produce their own in the um um sorry and Sanyo's produce the products for Burberry in Japan and they sell the products of which they produce themselves for Burberry in their own flagship store. Is that correct or?
Yes. They still sell. Okay, they still sell. Larsanians that are reacting to the demand for a snob alternative to the Burberry products made in its factories across by Asia by opening a flagship store in Ginza, where it sells Burberry products in. Oh yes. I think it's true. Sorry for that. Yes, it's still true.
Thank you.
Okay. Because they still sell products that are from Europe
They still,
Yeah.
they still
And
sell.
yes, they still
Okay.
sell products from Europe, but they are opening an alternative, which is they also sell products which are made by its own country, that Japan.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so that is true. Now, how about number 5? Sorry for the confusion. Okay.
It's
Okay,
okay.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
So, how about number 5?
Number 5, according to Domenico De Sola, the best luxury products are made in Japan.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
false. The According to Domenico De Sola, the best luxury products are made in Europe.
Yes, they are made in Europe. Okay. So the false here is made in Japan, and the correct
Okay.
is made in Europe. Okay, how about number 6?
Number 6, Gucci is planning to outsource some of its products, and this sentence is false because um, their their the executive chief says that it will not move Gucci's production offshore.
Okay, so Gucci is planning to outsource some of its products. That is still true. Okay, how about number 7?
Sorry, is number 6 false or true?
Oh, Gucci is. Oh, no, 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 no. It's
It's
false because
false.
they are not planning to outsource. Yeah,
Fine.
sorry
Yes.
for that.
Thank you.
Okay, not planning to outsource. How about number 7?
Number 7, Patrizio Bertelli believes that luxury fashion products should always be made in Europe. A sentence of number 7 is not true because he says that's they over a style, but and they over they over a style, but they don't. Not mm, it's not really need to always produce in Italy.
Okay, so no need to always be produced in Italy. Okay, that's good. So, how
Okay.
about the last one? Number 8?
Number 8, Amitabha Chattopadhyay says that companies need to pay careful attention to where they manufacture their products. And the last sentence I think is
Yes, that
true.
is true. Because he said, remember, that the
Yes.
manufacturer affects the brand. Yes,
Yes.
okay, so that is very good. So, good job in understanding, although it is quite confusing for me. It's quite confusing sometimes to understand what the paragraph means, but I think you have done a very good job in understanding what our lesson is, and I think that is something to be proud of. So before we
Thank
continue
you.
to, oh, I can see that we only have 2 minutes left, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'll just give you feedback of what we have. Oh, I think I have put the Jiffy in the wrong
Thank you.
in the wrong part. So very good with our class for today because I can see that you have understood what you're reading. Also, I can see that you are already fluent in reading. So you had a lot of also time to research, okay, or to understand your homework. So you have answered them very well, and that is good. So keep it up. So just please
Okay.
practice more with the words that you have mispronounced, just a little bit, and also in sentence construction, like whenever you want to ask something, you can practice constructing your questions. Like, for example, what means is like that. You can say, "What does it mean?" or What does this word mean?" Word mean, teacher, or uh, what do you
Okay.
mean by the word?
Wow.
Okay. Or like that. What do you mean by, for example, what do you mean by the word reliable? Or what do you mean by the word manufacture? Okay, so those are the things that are the
Okay.
questions that you can always remember when you ask something that you don't know about. Okay. Okay, so
Okay.
I really enjoy this class, Jasmine, because you're very attentive. You're very good when it comes to answering. And I hope that you will be the same in our next classes, okay? Okay,
Okay.
thank you. I
Thank you.
really enjoyed, and I hope that you'll have a great night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, teacher. Yeah.